Welcome to Proven and Probable, where we deliver mining insights and bullion sales in the form of physical delivery, offshore depositories, and private blockchain distributed ledger technology.
Welcome to Proven and Probable, where we deliver mining insights and bullion sales. I'm your host, Maurice Jackson. Joining us for a conversation is James Pettit. He is the president, CEO, and director of Aben Resources. Mr. Pettit, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Maurice. Glad to be back.
Always an honor to have you join us. I was excited to read this week's press release issued by Aben Resources regarding the ambitious exploration plans for the Justin Gold Project and your Flagship Forrest Kerr Project. But before we delve into the exploration plans, Mr. Pettit, who is Aben Resources and what is the opportunity you present to the market?
Well, Aben Resources is it's a junior gold exploration company, specifically gold, and specifically we target high-grade gold because we go to areas that offer that opportunity. We're listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, the Venture Exchange. And, what we offer is exploration discovery upside. I think that's the most exciting part of the whole mining cycle. The stock always has the biggest move on discovery, and then you move into more resource building and development, which in my mind, it gets boring. I like being out there finding new stuff. And you usually do have the best opportunity for success, a stock performance is usually on the discovery. And all you have to do is look at our chart over the last 3 years.
Mr. Pettit, I like the exploration plan the team is initiating on the upcoming drill season. So take us now to the Yukon, to the Justin Gold Project, which in my opinion, speculators often overlook when analyzing Aben's project portfolio, and share the outline of the proposed drill season there.
Sure. The Justin project we've had in our portfolio since 2010. And, we, during that period of 10, 11, and 12, the Yukon was on fire. Everybody wanted to get something up there. Well, we had this project. We actually, just as the market died off in the Yukon, we made a discovery, and it's called an intrusion-related gold system. They have the potential of being low grade, but large, like Fort Knox in Alaska, Victoria Gold in the Yukon. They're intrusion-related systems. And we never really got a chance to get back there. We did 2 years ago. We did some sampling, and we came up with just spectacular gold and till samples. And that led us last year to do some trenching, and we've got some very high grade just beside where we found that intrusion-related system. It's about 1.5 kilometers to the west. And it's another gold system, what we've got. It's orogenic in nature, very similar to our neighbor's golden predator. They're 3 aces zone. We're calling ours the Lost Ace because it's the same. It's in the same older formation. It's called an orogenic system there, and it's older than the intrusion system. So what we've got to look at there is they're side by side. Surely to goodness there's some overprinting and possible enriching going one way or the other. So that's, why we're now going to go in there and we're going to drill 2,000 meters. Part of it will be with RAB drill, rotary air blast system, which is, it allows us to do shallow drilling, 20 to 50 meters, and quickly. And we'll get about 20 holes in there, and then we're going to do up to 10 diamond drill holes in the immediate vicinity as well. And it's going to give us a really good look at what we've come up with over the last few years there. And the RAB drill is a seriously good use for exploration and shallow depths, because what we've got happening there has come up to surface.
Yeah, I noticed that Aben is committed to drilling an extra month this year on the Justin Gold Project, and that certainly piqued my interest. Why?
Well, I want to stretch out our season, because right now with the Forrest Kerr, as exciting as it is 4 to 5 months. And, when you hit something good there, the stock performs. It does very well. And at the end of the season, it tends to fall off. They all do. Everybody up there. They're all facing the same thing. So I decided to let's add to the length of our season. And so we've got crews actually heading up to the Yukon right now to get the camp built. And then we can start drilling beginning of June, and we'll be finished by the end of June, maybe the beginning of April, and that's when we start the Forrest Kerr Project. And it'll allow us to increase our news flow, make that period longer, and it's very similar type of targets. We're going after high grade.
Speaking of the Forrest Kerr, let's go there right now. It's in the Golden Triangle of British Columbia, and it really has the market excited, and deservedly so. What are the plans there for this drill season?
They're pretty big. We're going to go start the season right away. As a matter of fact, in another week, we'll start the airborne geophysical survey. It's a big mag survey covering the whole boundary zone where we've been concentrating the last 2 years. And that'll overlay the geochem survey that's been already done. And it's going to give us, a bit of an overlay of the geophysics and the geochem. It's good to have coincidental targets. And the mag will get us some deeper looks at what we're working with, because that was the one thing that was lacking, was modern geophysics. We've got a lot of gold. Obviously you can tell we have a lot of gold there. How does it hold together? Where is it coming from? And this deeper seated geophysics is going to help us try to hone in to these areas that could be feeding this whole area, because there is a lot of gold. We've hit a lot of gold in various areas in the boundary zone. North boundary in particular has some very high grades. And we're going to get a better handle on it this year. We've got 55 new pad locations that we didn't have before. We only had 9. That's what we had to drill off of last year. So you're limited to 2 angles. When you do hit something, you'd like to get a different angle. Well, we didn't have the permits to move the pads. The pads, is basically what the drill sits on. So you're limited to what the drill can accomplish off of one pad. This is going to allow us with, it's going to give us a certain amount of certainty and increased confidence of, where we drill and how we drill. And when you do hit something, you can change your angles rather than from one point, drilling angles off that. You can move the pad and actually get some more precise angles and better knowledge.
We've discussed what Aben will be doing, but I want to shift the focus now on what the primary goals are for the team. What have they identified that will be tangible success for the drill season for each project respectively?
Well, let's start with the Forrest Kerr. We've got 3 areas identified that we want to get to right away. We did that last year by, drilling from the north down through under the north boundary zone that we had hit the year before, and that was tremendous success. This year, we've got an area to the north of the north boundary zone, which is between 2 holes we drilled to the north last year that started getting mineralization toward the end of the hole. We want to go out there, put in a new pad, and drill in between those 2 targets, because they were, a couple 100 meters out. We want to get in between them and see what's there that was left behind. We've got another target to the south of the north boundary zone that was drilled by Noranda. We touched on it the first year, but our pad location was 180 meters away. And so we called it spear fishing, where we could just, point in the direction of where Noranda hit their very high grade zone, which was 300 and I'm just trying to remember, 340 meters of 340 grams of 1 meter. We try to hit it from 180 meters away. You're not going to have a whole lot of success. It's spear fishing. We want to go in there and do what we did in the north boundary zone and drill underneath that thing, get up closer to it and drill underneath, see what's there. We have better indication of the orientation of these mineralized zones running through the area. So, I think we can get in closer and, we may get some good success there. And then we've got the south boundary zone that we touched on last year. We only had 1 pad. We drilled 3 holes. Every one of those holes had very broad intersections of, 60 to 100 meter holes, but lower grade, not the big 20 plus grams. This was more like up to 5 gram stuff, but it also had high grade copper, zinc, and silver in it. So there's something else going on there. We'd like to just see what that's all about, because generally when we see high-grade copper, we see high-grade gold. And then with the combination of the geochem we already have and the geophysics we're doing, we're going to generate a lot more targets as we move south. because starting from the north boundary zone, the only direction we really have is south. We got a little bit of leeway to the north, but we got 4 kilometers of length and 2 kilometers of width to work with. So we're going to generate a lot of targets. And with the success of the season, we can add to what we're going to do. We're planning on 5,000 meters of drilling to start. If we have success like we did last year, we can turn that into 10 very easily. And it's already paid for. We've got over $5 million in the till. So this season is bought and paid for, and that's more than enough, actually, what we're going to do.
Certainly exciting times for Aben Resources. Switching gears, Mr. Pettit, what does the current capital structure look like for Aben Resources?
Well, we've got just about 112 million shares out, 132 million fully diluted. And what happens each season is we manage to take down a lot of warrants and options in the company because the stock has the last 3 years performed very well in the summer. Which adds to the treasury. Current market capitalization is, 20 to 25 million. About 20 million right now. And I think, as we go forward, it's, as you can see, if you just look at the chart, it changes. It changes in the summer.
Speaking of the share price, I was doing some research on our last interview back in December, and the share price was 12 cents. And I don't want to be the one to say, I said so, but Mr. Pettit, what is the share price today?
The share price today it's been settling in at 22 cents, which is substantially higher than where we started the last couple of seasons. It's, that was usually around 12 to 10. We've got a much better base this year, much better. And it has to do with the success we've had in the past. People recognize the trading patterns. As you get closer to the season, the stock moves up. But this has been plateauing here and basing at that 19 to 22 cent range, and it's good for it because if we do have any kind of success, it'll take a run. That's generally what happens.
Speaking of the base, who is doing the buying?
Well, we've got a huge investor base. As far as notable shareholders, obviously our biggest shareholder is Eric Sprott, and we've got some funds involved. But we really rely heavily on the retail side, and we market. I'm always on the road marketing what we're doing. We have a huge following in Germany, and probably almost as big as what we have in Canada and the U.S. So it's good. It's retail. And there's a lot of people that understand that when the season ends, is when they're watching to start buying. And I've got a lot of investors in this thing that have accumulated, starting, say, back in December, even November last year. And they'll accumulate it on the dips all through until now. And it's a good shareholder base. And I think you can hear my phone ringing. Those are shareholders. They're responding to the news release. I'll tell you right now, the response to the news release has been really amazing.
Yeah, you echoed that earlier prior to our conversation here online on this interview that the phones have been ringing off the hook. Last question here for you, sir. What did I forget to ask? Well,
you're good at covering things off, but generally is why do I like this? What makes me excited about this whole thing. And it's really the philosophy that we have with this company, the guys running this company. We want to be in an area that's known for high grade. The Golden Triangle is really well known for that, with some of the highest grade mines ever developed, that are now done, they're finished, but there's some new ones coming out. The Bruce Jack mine is amazingly high grade, and that's brand new. And there'll be more coming. And then in the Yukon, that's always been known for high grade. And what we hit is unique. It's a very high grade new target, right beside, which potentially could be a very large lower grade. But do they mix? Does that the influence between them? Is there enrichment coming one way or the other? That's exciting, and that's why we do it. And we always go into areas that there's lots of data available to us, and we can sort of put it under a new spotlight.
Well, Mr. Pettit, for someone listening that wants to get more information on Aben Resources, please share the website address.
Yeah, you can go to the website at www.abenresources.com. It's a good website, and it's full of really good information, and a lot of interviews that I do are put up there. There's audio and visual, so if you want to get up to speed quick, that's a great place to go.
For additional inquiries about Aben Resources, please call Don Myers at 604-639-3851. That number again is 604-639-3851. He may also be reached at info@abenresources.com. Aben Resources trades on the TSXV, symbol ABN, and on the OTCQB, symbol ABNAF. Aben Resources is a sponsor of Proven and Probable, and we are proud shareholders for the virtues conveyed in today's message. Finally, we invite you to visit us at provenandprobable.com, where we deliver mining insights and bullion sales. Mr. Pettit, thank you for joining us today on Proven and Probable.
The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.